evening, the government is coming under increased pressure to roll back the massive increase given to politicians. Calls are being made for Jamaicans to boycott all state-planned and politician-led activities on Labor Day. The details in this report.
On Thursday, the Jamaica Council of Churches joined the list of local groups calling for a rollback of the massive wage increase politicians gave themselves. Fast forward 3 days later, and one prominent church leader has gone a step further. The preacher took a placard to church bearing the word shameful.
Shameful, disgraceful, unacceptable, and insensitive to the plight of the Jamaican people. Collectively, Mr. Prime Minister, collectively, you and your cabinet has behaved shamefully.
He wants the country to unite against what he views as a vulgar financial move by the politicians starting on Labor Day.
To stage a campaign to ban our participation in the government Labor Day project. Because the action is demotivating. If we are partnering together for building this nation, you should be sensitive to the plight. You have destroyed the spirit of volunteerism, the spirit of patriotism.
Bishop Dr. Alvin Bailey, who is the president of the Jamaica Evangelical Alliance, was speaking at a church service in Portmore, St. Catherine Sunday. He said he has a duty to address this issue, which goes directly against the Jamaican people, many of whom are being forced to take low wages, including from the government.
The Christianity that I embrace does not only speak to preaching to you from this pulpit. It means identifying ourselves with the plight of a people who you serve, and speaking for the voiceless, representing those who need representation, and address persons who should have their interests at heart. And if there's anyone else who should have our interests and our well-being at heart, should be the politicians that we have elected to serve us and to live in a way that they are examples of moderation, decency, integrity.
He also didn't spare the opposition PNP, whose members, he said, have reacted to the matter with half-hearted protests.
They have taken it. I have seen them walk out of Parliament for less than this. I've seen them vigorously opposing actions that are less than this. They have took it and they are flip-flopping. The leader of the opposition, he has decided to give back 80% until when the other negotiations are settled. That is unacceptable. Nothing short of a rollback of this increase is acceptable to us, the Jamaican people. Roll back to more moderate increases that reflects sensitivity to the limitations.
If 2.7 million people allow 63 people to lead them astray, something wrong with the 2.7 million people.
I mean the 3 million people.
Well, the 3 million, if you want to say that. Yeah. So 63 million people lead 3 million people astray. Something wrong.
Yo,
Haiti alone poorer than Jamaica
is tourism. Bahamas' biggest earner is tourism. Trinidad and Tobago have oil. Zin and all of them earn a better GDP for them country than Jamaica. Yet still, Jamaican politicians want to be paid more, although we in the realm, we are one of the poorest Caribbean islands.
Prime Minister for Jamaica is going to be over 25 million. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister is 13 million. Bahamas 13. Minister of Finance for Jamaica 21.7 million. Trinidad and Tobago 9 million. I'm quoting everything in Jamaican dollars.
Local groups are piling on the pressure on the government with news of an imminent legal challenge to the controversial wage increase. Justice League JA, a group made up of young lawyers and law students, says it is now taking steps to collaborate with other groups from academia, senior legal attorneys and public sector stakeholders to bring the case before the courts. The group says it has identified provisions in the law that make the move illegal. A petition has also been started by the group to help boost its mission.
We sat in the cabinet and we agonized even whether or not we should even take any increase. Not something that we took lightly, because we know that there are persons who will try to make political fodder over it. As a country, what has plagued us is that we have treated the political class with schizophrenia and disdain. The truth is, you get the quality of governance that you elect. And every government is afraid to touch it, because if you touch it, people say you don't deserve it.
Big rubber like Andrew, you can't fool me. We know the lie, and we know the truth, and we know the half truth. The truth is, when you're right, generally speaking, paying people a sufficient wage will result in better performance. I.e., if you pay teachers right, if you pay the nurse them right, if you pay the police them right, if you pay the soldier them right, if you pay other civil servants right, you will most likely get a better outcome, and you get better retention, and you attract better talent. Less talent will leave the country if they are paid sufficiently. That is the truth. The lie is that politicians are included in this lot. And why are you not included in this lot? Because you were already being paid more than you are worth, more than your job performance. You guys, you men, you spineless cretins were already being paid more than enough for you to survive. Your benefits were more than enough for you to survive, and that fact excludes you from being a subject of the argument that being paid sufficiently will increase or lead to better performance, better retention, and better attraction of talent, of young talent. What is the admission in what you said? Remember, there's a truth to it, but the truth does not apply to the Jamaican politician, because the Jamaican politicians were already being paid more than enough. More than enough. So what can we deduce from what you said? It is the fact that if you know, if all you politicians who came up with this know that paying somebody what they are worth leads to better outcomes for the country, better results for the country, better retention of talent and better attraction of talent, it means you are purposely sabotaging the country by educating the teachers at Michael and St. Joseph and UWI, then not paying them sufficiently year after year, refusing to increase their salary, refusing their salary demands, refusing to give them all the benefits that they deserve, refusing to reduce the class sizes. If you guys knew that paying sufficiently would lead to better outcomes, and then you are underpaying the teachers, then it means you are doing something purpose to damage the future of the country and damage the education system. Am I right or am I wrong? You guys are completely aware of this fact. Yet still, you continue to fight vehemently against bettering the conditions of teachers in the country. So how can we not then come to the conclusion that you are trying to sabotage the education system? You are trying to sabotage the police because you are not giving them what they need to fight crime. Is this why the crime rate is so high? Because you cannot attract law-abiding police. You always have to you underpay them to the point where when I'm in Jamaica, all 3-4 times I have to fork out money because police stop me just for tax me. Because them I get underpaid, so you can't attract the law-abiding police them where I go just uphold the law and now go use the suit and the badge and the gun and the car to extort people. Are you guys saying you are purposely sabotaging Jamaica by underpaying these people that deserve to be paid sufficiently? Because these are people necessary to maintain a functioning society. I'm glad when you make the admission. I guess we can say by your own admission, you are purposely underpaying our professionals trained by Jamaica, but not being paid sufficiently by Jamaica. And you are sabotaging them in a way that forces them now to seek to migrate to other places that will pay them sufficiently so they can take care of themselves and their family and improve the lives of them offspring. Because that are the key at the end of the day now. We are trying to improve the lives of our offspring. And if we have a decent enough life, we can at least them can maintain a comfortable lifestyle. So I want to just admit, say, yo, we the politicians of Jamaica, we know the argument the teacher them a make correct. But guess what? We not gonna give uno the raise. We are gonna give ourselves the raise. Even though this argument not apply to we because we done already. I get paid more than what we worth. Anyway, people, no make me know wanna think about this because there's no way I'm right on this topic yet. Anyway, make me know wanna think.